nodular worm, which is known as Esophagostomum columbianum, the species is that infects the cecum and column of sheep and goats. And it is known as the nodular worm because it produces small nodules in the small intestine of sheep and goats. And that's why the disease is known as the nodular disease, or it is also known as the pimply gut. The nodules are looking like pimples on the gut. That's why the pimply gut. The clinical symptoms include persistent diarrhea with dark green feces. The feces are dark green in color and diarrhea is persistent and it contains a lot of mucus and blood. Other clinical signs, alternating diarrhea and constipation, emaciation, general weakness, atrophy of muscles occurs, and finally complete prostration, and death may occur in some cases very quickly, within 1 to 3 days even. If you conduct a postmortem on such animals, you will find large number of nodules in the intestine, but underline it that the adult worms are absent in such cases because the larvae of the parasite is responsible for production of the nodules. The fourth stage larvae will be, if you open this one of the nodules, we will find the fourth stage larvae in the parasite, of the parasite in this nodule. And these nodules will only be found in those animals which have already been primed to this infection at least once. Means if a lamb gets the infection for the first time in its life against this parasite, then there will be no nodule formation in that case. All the larvae will get converted into adults and they will release eggs in the feces. But if the same animal gets reinfected with the Esophagostomum columbianum, then at that time, the nodules will be formed by the fourth stage larvae, which actually penetrate into mucosa of the small intestine of this sheep and goats. And because of the immune response, the host is already primed against the parasite. So because of the immune response, the nodules are formed in only such kind of animals. And these nodules, if they rupture towards the peritoneum side, it can result in peritonitis, or it can also result into marked adhesions. So these are the photographs of Esophagostomum, the nodular worm. You see the first photograph, the pimply gut. You see the small nodules present on the outer wall of the small intestine. These are all looking like pimples. And this is why this whole gut, because the disease is known as the pimply gut. If you open the small intestine, you will find the adult worms in the host.